Hello learners, moving on to part 2 under types of non-verbal communication. Yesterday, quick revision in part 1. We've seen the types, the meaning of non-verbal communication, types like facial expression, gestures, and then we have completed body language and posture along with examples. So body language and posture, kinesics is the other word you need to know because PYQ can be asked. Moving on to part 2 today. Paralinguistics. What is that? Immediately, paralinguistics refer to paralanguage. Linguistics is referring to a language, right? Right now, I'm explaining you this particular concept of the types of non-verbal communication. In order for you to understand, I'm leaving a necessary pause. My pitch and the volume and the tone in which I explain certain things differs. So, that is called as paralinguistics. It is voice, pitch, sound, rhythm, and tempo of how one speaks. Next one is proximics. So kinesics, paralinguistics, meaning voice, pitch, proximics. Next one is proximics that directly deals with distance and space in communication. That is the necessary required distance in order to communicate with another individual. For example, if I'm going to meet my best friend, I'm going to communicate something with her. I'm going to sit very close with her. I can put my hands on her. The distance or the relationship will be quite close. Whereas in a place when it comes to organization, certain feet, certain necessary gap between two or more individual is practiced. So basically the distance and the space, the required physical distance stands for the meaning. Particularly in proximics, certain important points are there are three types of proximics distancing, that is personal, social and public space. Personal, like I said, it's between best friends or friends, it's like 1.5 to 4 feet approximately, whereas public in a formal organizational space it is 12 feet 10 to 12 feet approximately. And basically social can be formal and informal, and mix of both is social. Another example on cross-culture difference is that in United States, the distance is more wider. They respect more distance between individual, whereas in Middle East, lesser distance is preferred while communicating. Important term in types of non-verbal communication is haptics. Haptics directly relates to sense of touch. Touching is haptics. Whenever you are meeting someone in India, we prefer to not touch immediately, right? After meeting a person, whether be it formal or informal, we either start with a namaste or a little handshake here and there, but majorly with namaste or just a smile, right? That is sense of touch, haptics. Pat on the back. If you're patting someone on the back, it is basically a sign of encouraging a person, right? But in Eastern countries, it is termed to be offensive. So patting at the back is a sense of touch that comes under haptics. Whereas in Asian countries like Japan or China, unnecessary touch is prohibited. That is totally disrespectful. And in Mediterranean countries, for example, Italy, I've written here, hugs are a formal way of greeting each other. So these points come under the sense of touch, that is haptic. Other last few important terms will be oculesics. Oculesics meaning eye contact. For example, in my formal organization, I am the HR manager. I'm going to conduct an interview for a job recruitment. One such main description or main observation which I will do is that if I keep noticing that the candidate is blinking a lot during the interview, it shows that he or she is lacking confidence, right? That is going to be one such important point. So basically the things that are to be done with eyes, the eye contact while communicating, the other term for it is oculesics. And the next one, the study of smell in communication, is called as olfactics. And chronemics. Chronemics is another important term like that of proximics and haptics and kinesics. Chronemics means study of time management in communication. In Japan, if there is a meeting organized in an organization, if the meeting time is at 8 a.m., people ought to assemble only by 8 a.m., not 2 minutes or 5 minutes even earlier than that. In India, you can either come earlier or a bit late, right? It depends. So time management is very important, and the term for that is chronomics. We are completing the most important terms and the PYQs, preferable PYQs, which can be asked under the non-verbal type of communication.